If you could see what I look like right now, I just sort of look like a washed up actor who was in a lot of Judd Apatow movies. And I just haven't really found any other work. You know, someone who's kind of been stuck in the gravitational orbit of Planet Apatow and can't reach escape velocity. That guy's got kind of a look, and that's what I look like right now. And honestly, I have it better because I haven't had to be in any Judd Apatow movies ever. I never had to do it. I was never called upon. I never got that letter in the mail. I was like, you've been drafted into the next Apatow movie. And I'm like, now I have to do Apatow service? So I'm working on something new. Because I haven't been in any Judd Apatow movies, I have to actually make a living. And lately I've been doing it by, I'll come to your house. And my service to you is that if you have a screwdriver somewhere in your house, but you can't find it, I'll come over and I'll help you look for it. And I'm going to cut you off at the pass right now. I'm going to go ahead and answer a burning question I'm sure you have, which is, why don't you just show up with a screwdriver? And if I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. And it's that's a completely different type of business. That's not what I'm into. That's not what I'm passionate about. What I want to do is I'm just going to show up. I'll look through the junk drawer. I'll look through all the closets. And if that's not a service you need, then I also offer hiding a screwdriver, so that if you don't want someone in your house to ever find it, I'll help you find a good hiding spot. Usually I just go for under the floorboard or something like that. But here's the thing. You can't hire me to do both. Because then it's like, what am I doing? Is this like a perpetual motion machine of supply and demand? No, of course not. Because if people knew that I found out the perfect formula, they'd come for me. They'd kill me. Because it's too good, it's too perfect. They don't want the secret getting out. But that's what's going on. That's basically what you missed while I was off. Well, I hope Glass Johnson was uploading the episodes. Because I haven't really checked to look since I got back from vacation, so I haven't seen. I hope Glass Johnson had the technical know-how to upload the episodes for the past few weeks. Something that I've noticed that is quite making me question my sanity, though, is that I'm pretty sure there's now a light purplish gradient on the YouTube playback bar towards the end of the video. I got the app on the LG TV, so maybe this update was just for me, or there is no update. My favorite updates are the ones where it's like, we didn't add anything, but the shape of your profile picture, now it's a circle. It used to be a square, now it's a different shape, so buckle up. By the way, this update is 2 gigabytes. That's gonna be 2 of the old gigs right off the top of your hard drive. They just slice it off like they're cutting souvlaki. I think, honestly, and I'm building a meat-based computer where this is how it works, so it's actually going quite well. It's going so well, it might actually kind of scare you how well it's going. It's scaring the shit out of me. This thing's alive. Anyway, coming up next, we have John Beer, everyone's favorite beer correspondent. He's going to be telling us the latest about beer. Hopefully you didn't mishear me. It's not John Deere. It's not a guy in a tractor. I tried to get a guy on a tractor to come on the show, but it took him too long to get here. And I said, I'll pay for an Uber. But the only Ubers you can get out there are just other tractors, so it wouldn't have really solved the problem. So we got John Beer, who is definitely, just based on his last name, I'm sure he's getting from point A to point B very responsibly in a way that wouldn't cause undue harm to himself or others. He's just drinking beer 24/7. I mean, I'm just gonna put this disclaimer out before John Beer comes out. Like he's not recognized in any publications or anything. He's just a guy who's drinking beer a lot. Now I'm starting to think maybe it was a mistake bringing him on. Just like it was a mistake asking him to come to my wedding. Putting John Beer right next to Glass Johnson at the table at my wedding, I thought that was a genius pairing. Because I thought Glass Johnson loves to have liquid come out of him, and John Beer likes to have liquid going in. So if it's the same liquid, then that helps everybody. That makes everybody happy. But it turns out that's not how it worked out, because they disagreed on a lot of politics and stuff. I didn't know Glass Johnson had any political views. I do know he wanted to be the glass that the candidates drink out of at all of the debates. And he insisted, there should just be one glass for both of them, and it should be me. So just to give you an idea of like the kind of ego that Glass Johnson has. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome John Beer.
My name's John Beer because I drink beer. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. I couldn't think of I was trying to think of a new catchphrase for myself, but I failed. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about the beers I've been drinking. I'm drinking the Homer Simpson beer. That's right, Duff's, good old Duff's, that's real. In one of the worlds I go to. Have you heard of reality shifting? Well, I'm into that. And I went to Simpson's World. And I had that good old Duff beer, and I brought some back with me. So if you're interested, it's not good. It tastes like a cartoon. The taste doesn't translate into 3D reality. It tastes like dick. So does anybody else need anything else from me? Can I go? I don't know what the segment... Nobody told me what the segment is. They just said, you're John Beer. Make it happen. I can't always make it happen. The only reason I even started drinking is because they canceled Battlestar Galactica. And now look at what my life has become. It's so crazy because my life has been amazing other than that one horrible thing that happened to me. If you want to throw some pennies my way, John, just being a guy whose whole thing is drinking beer, it's just not as lucrative as it sounds. It's actually recently gotten so bad that I've started to mug homeless people. See, they're not used to having any money, so I take advantage of that. But I gotta keep drinking beer, or else what's the point of my last name? If I stop drinking beer, that trip to City Hall to get my last name changed, it was all for nothing if I'm not drinking beer. Anyway, thank you so much. You've been so great. Bye-bye now.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. That was John Beer. Unfortunately, I'm barely even going to be on this episode because you're going to be hearing. You heard just now from John Beer, someone who is notably not me. Slurp Von Lipstick is also someone who's not me. But a lot of people get us confused. I understand. But I mean, if you saw both of us in person, it would be very obvious who is who. It'd be the difference in appearance is almost like the difference between the different races in Lord of the Rings. And I'm not gonna say like who's an orc and who isn't. I think that humans should look more different from each other. It would just make things more interesting. What if you lived in the world of Doug? Some people are humans, but some people are an alligator. And this is this is a reality you face every day when you wake up. You think, I'm probably gonna have to talk to an alligator today. That's how it should be. I mean, I'm thinking of Roger. I know he's not really an alligator, but I always thought of him as one. I always thought he was alligator coated. Here's what I'm saying, though. I'm saying a baby should come out and it should just look like the Monopoly Man. Like the Monopoly Man is now a race of human beings. This is the kind of world I'm talking about. A guy who literally looks like the Pillsbury Doughboy. Because then it'll get too confusing to be racist at that point. Like, you'd have to be so specific in even remembering who you're supposed to hate. It's not even worth the trouble at that point. It'd start to be like, wait, do I hate Indian people, or was I thinking of those floating circles with eyeballs and mouths that I see now in the street? I don't know. Fuck it. Or what if there's like a Beetlejuice character, like a big worm, but it starts doing jokes or something? Like, does it deserve healthcare now? I watched Beetlejuice on the plane, and Beetlejuice is a movie that seemed like it was like on in the background when I was like very young, but I didn't really sit and pay attention to what the plot was. So I would just see all these disconnected scenes and I'd be like, what the hell is this movie about? And then I actually sat and watched it, and I was like, what the hell is this movie about? It just moves very quickly. It's like a very short movie. Beetlejuice is really only in it for like 10 minutes. It was also just from like a weird time where you could have a movie that basically seems like it's for kids, but somebody gets to say fuck one time. I went to Santorini with my girlfriend, and then we went to Athens, and then we went to Amsterdam accidentally because we got stuck there. I think probably the most interesting place was Athens because it doesn't seem like it's not really trying to be that touristy too. It doesn't really care whether you come or not, which makes it feel like a real city, I guess. Amsterdam made me kind of mad because my whole life I was thinking like they're never gonna make like a perfect city. They're never gonna make everything work. And then I was in Amsterdam and like, of course you can. Of course you can do it. I feel like such an idiot for thinking it was that hard. But I don't know how happy those people are. I don't know. Maybe they're all miserable for some reason. The Greeks did seem to have more fun, but I don't know what I would prefer. I'd prefer some kind of mix. I'll keep that in mind when I create my own country. Basically, my approach, it's gonna be what I've settled on is it's just gonna be me there. It's just me. I've already printed all the currency, and I created a new fucked up weird video format that only my country uses, and then you're not gonna be able to watch anything I make, and I can't watch anything you make. And I'm inventing a new type of plug. Okay, I got my own plug. That's when you know you've made it as a country. You have incompatible plugs with other countries. If you want to know where it is, just give me a call and I'll give you directions. We're not on Google Maps yet, so yeah, you can come here. You can take pictures of. It's just me. I'm just, just be pictures of me because I'm so far. I just started with one guy. How do you think America worked? It was just one guy, Yankee Doodle. I gotta brush up on my history. That doesn't sound right now that I'm saying it. I did feel like a little bit of a Yankee Doodle at some points when we were traveling. Just because everybody spoke English, and I'm like, sorry that you have to know two of them. I only have to know one. And I'm sorry that it's not even easy to learn. Even we don't know how to use it half the time. It's impossible to completely figure out. Read and read, they're the same word. Good luck. Flammable, inflammable, guess what? Means the same thing. We set ourselves on fire daily. Well, I don't know. So anyway, in the meantime, I heard Slurp Von Lipstick has been locked away in his cage for the past 3 weeks, and I think that's for the best. I haven't even really looked in the cage. There's just a blanket over it that I guess was put on there to calm him down at some point. Well, no, I'm gonna go unlock the cage. I'll let him out, and the next voice you hear will be that of Slurp Von Lipstick, the host of Time Check. Give it up, everybody. Let me just let him out. Yeah, he's in bad shape. He's in bad shape, man. I almost feel bad. If it was anybody else, I would feel bad. All right, bud, come on out. Come on out of here. Thank you. Yes, I'm Slurp Von Lipstick, and I feel great. I gotta tell you, the hardest part of being in that cage was not knowing what time it is. I did not wear a watch because somebody said that I, quote-unquote, looked annoying wearing a watch. And they never elaborated, but it's always stuck with me, so I can't wear a watch. But yeah, not other than that, not much going on with me. I've just been receiving and sending emails, just using emails. I use emails.com now, if you want to check it out. It's sign up for emails.com. You can get your emails through that. Whether or not you're logged in, if you go to emails.com, that will bring you to your inbox. But you have to pay $5 every 5 emails, so $1 an email. But think about what you're getting. You never have to think again. But they're not paying me. It's just something I use recreationally. I also use toilets. You think I'm sponsored by Big Toilet? Dude, I miss Big Toilet. He used to spit the hottest fire. Now he's dead. It's fucked up what happens. Anyway, does anyone want to know the time? Huh? Anybody remember that? You guys are so caught up in your own lives. You don't even care what time it is anymore. Everyone's always like, oh, what's Chapel Roan doing? What did she say? What you should be asking is, what fucking time is it? What time is it? You should always be yelling that to everybody all the time. So you should care about it. You should be obsessed with it. It should drive you insane like it didn't do to me. I'm fine. It's 9:56 p.m. It's almost 10 o'clock, so maybe that's your bedtime. Maybe it isn't. If not you, then maybe the rats that live in your house. If you have rats, hopefully they go to bed by 10. That way you can stay up late. You know, you get like an hour and a half of just like not having to deal with the rats. And I guess this has been on my mind because I've been living in a clock tower for the last 3 months. And the thing is swarming with rats. And it's hard to find somewhere else to live when I have to spend $1 an email from emails.com. But I'll say, after having seen the user interface, how easy it is, how well it integrates into my mobile OS, and you can't say that about a lot of software these days. So I'll sleep with the rats, and I'll have access to emails.com, so I don't have to remember any of my information. The folks at emails.com offer other services as well. They'll dig up information about you so that you never have to remember anything ever again. If you go on a date and your date asks you what sign you are, they'll show up and they will say Libra, or whatever you are. They'll know things about you you don't even know. Because why do you have to remember that? Why remember the self? Allow your identity to disintegrate in the seas of infinity. Forget it. Leave it behind. Let someone else take up that burden. They'll remember your name. They'll remember your social security number. You can also you can pay a little extra and they'll have a guy with binoculars just watch you through your windows at all times. And that way, like, all the experiences you have, they'll remember it for you. So you don't really have to like live your life or develop as a person or reflect on yourself ever again. Because you're paying people to do this for you now. Well, I'm Slurp Von Lipstick, and I always have been, and I hope that the time that I gave you is the time that you wanted to hear. Another successful time check that I would remember, but I don't have to. And actually what I have them do is they generate a journal entry for me to tell me how I feel and, what I think of everything. They're going to tell me how to vote. It's probably fine. Thank you, everybody. I'm Slurp Von Lipstick. See you later. Very good, very good. Another page from the tome, the dusty tome of Slurp Von Lipstick and his inner machinations. What's driving him? A lot of people say it's time. He just likes time a lot. I don't think he likes time that much. He's told me before, he's like, time is bullshit, actually. He says he's getting more into space. He's like, I'm just thinking about like big rooms. He said that to me. He's like, I'm just thinking of the biggest space possible. And then I told him about, outer space. And it was the first time he had heard of that. He had never considered any of that. He thought the night sky was just a skybox, like in a video game. To be fair, there's a lot of time out there as well. I mean, there's like 13.8 billion years of space. That's how far out you can see. That's how far the light goes. But I think James Webb is challenging exactly our estimate of how old the universe is. Because there are galaxies that are way too well formed, way too far back for our timeline to make any sense. So what would that mean if the universe is older? What if it's like 50 billion? Then it's like, oh, that's way older. It's like you have no way of even conceiving that anyway. You have no right to say that's older. That would mean absolutely nothing to you on a human level. It's like if I said to you, imagine the entire Atlantic Ocean, imagine all the water. Now imagine it combined with all the water in the Pacific Ocean and the Arctic Ocean. If this were real life, you'd be like, okay, I'm imagining it. Okay, I can see that. But I know inside you're like, I have no fucking idea what I'm imagining. I don't know how big any ocean is. It's not because I lack the information. It's because I can't conceive of it. It's like I'm stupider than the universe. I'm dumber than the universe. But I think we should become smarter. We should become smarter than the universe. We need to study up. And we need to show the universe what's up. We need to embarrass it. We need to be like, what did you do? What have you done? Why did you put all these little guys on this planet where the sun burns them? I was covered in lotion head to toe 24/7 on vacation. Because if I just live on this planet normally, I'll just die of something. That doesn't happen to like a grasshopper. How are we having a harder time than grasshoppers? Were we really supposed to be here or not? Welcome to the Joe Rogan Experience. I got on here Donald Trump. Donald Trump was on Joe Rogan. Okay, so that's that news item. Now moving along. Yeah, the only other thing I picked up from traveling was that Europe and the West, we need to get together. We need to see past our differences when it comes to bathrooms. We just need to decide on what works in a bathroom and what doesn't. This is going to solve most of our problems because this is how we connect. This is one of the few things we all have in common. We all have to pour one out, as it were. Here's the thing, Greece gets a passing grade in terms of bathroom, but you gotta figure out the plumbing. You can't make it so that you can't flush toilet paper. But it's like you got so close, you figured out plumbing, just make it a little bit bigger. Just make it a little bigger. I think it has to do with the fact that everything's encased in like stone. I don't know. Maybe it makes it really hard to dig stuff up. They're like, what's gonna happen? Is water gonna get bigger? You know, we got stuff flowing, it's good. Let's seal it up. We're never gonna have to touch this again. Pretty soon it's not gonna matter anyway, because the wrong person's gonna win the election and they're gonna make it so that you can't even poop anymore, anywhere in the entire world. So, it's not gonna matter. I think of all the things that should be, I guess, government subsidized, if you think about it, toilet paper probably should be. It should pretty much be like a kind of thing where somebody in a truck comes around every other day and delivers the toilet paper. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous not to if you think about it. But nobody really accuses the toilet paper companies of like being ghoulish capitalists who are taking advantage of the fact that they control a necessary commodity. No one has a problem with like big toilet paper. Also, RIP to big toilet paper. I was really like, I took the day off when I found out that big toilet paper died. I was like, his diss tracks on Big Toilet, transformative. Basically, the track boiled down to our names are too similar, and mine came first, and you just copied me. It's kind of like the fact that like Ice Cube and Ice-T both exist. It's not good. It's a mess out there with the names. We gotta clean up the names. We're gonna clean up all the names. We're gonna clean up the names. I was doing Trump. There's no way you could know because my voice didn't convey it. I was just doing the hand thing. Everyone's going to have distinct names that are very recognizable, such as Sonic the Hedgehog. You know, when I say that, you know exactly who that is. You don't hear Sonic the Hedgehog and think, oh, was he on Seinfeld for a little while? No. He's a fucking blue hedgehog. Whereas you hear a name like Marty Martinson, you're like, he could have been on Seinfeld. Don't know. Like, he might have been. Or he might be my cousin. I don't know. I have a cousin named Emma Roberts. You don't think it's confusing when I hear about the actress in a movie? I think, why is my cousin in this movie? And then I'm like, oh yeah, there are more people on Earth than I can think about. I forget that they exist. By the way, unrelated, but shout out to my cousin. I loved her in Holiday, that movie from 2020. Wait, no, that's the actress. See, I keep forgetting. The only movie my actual real cousin was in was Hotel for Dogs. She was in that. That wasn't the actress, right? Okay. I'm looking it up now. No, it was the actress. She was in that one too. And we need to make the names of people who've died more accurate. And there are names that don't make any sense. Think about this. Forget everything you know about American pop culture. Now I want you to picture a guy named Michael Jackson. He's a guy who just works in an office somewhere. His name is Michael, and his last name is Jackson. He seems like he'd just be a normal guy, right? See? It doesn't make any sense the way we have it. Michael Jackson sounds like a Japanese video game programmer trying to come up with an American-sounding name. It's like if another pop icon in America had been named Hotdog McDichael. It's like that. But you would just picture a normal guy if it was Hotdog McDichael. That's a guy grilling a hamburger. You're like, hey, hot dog. Seems like you should be grilling hot dogs. No, turns out Hotdog McDichael is really a burger guy. So, what do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about? Sorry. Okay, I'm just logging into. I'm just gonna go ahead and check into emails.com. See what's going on with my email. We're getting a lot of fraud alerts. All of my cards are now shut down. And the emails.com official stance is that identity is an illusion. So if yours is stolen, then nothing has changed at all. You're still the same inner essence that you have been and always will be forever and ever. That's their official stance. You can take it or leave it. I'm just gonna be upfront with you. They're bad people. But your email will show up on emails.com, and it doesn't matter if you log in. It doesn't matter if you enter any information. They have a way to put it on your fucking screen. It doesn't matter. It might cost you everything you have. But if you're serious about this, they will make it happen. Look, I'm sorry for getting upset, but I just want to really properly convey what emails.com is and what it can do for you. There are tons of other websites as well. You can go to google.com, and when you go to google.com, you can type in, what website should I go to? And Google will give you something. And I'll try it right now, actually. So what comes up is a Quora thread that says, what are some of the best websites which at some point have proven very useful in our daily lives? I'm not a bot, just farming for the 0.001 cents I can get from asking questions on Quora. I tried that for a while. Quora will pay you if you just ask questions on there or answer them. You have to do so many though. It's a real learning experience trying to come up with a question that no other human being has asked yet, or at least not asked in that specific way. If you're just trying to spam questions to make money on Quora, you have to start really becoming unbelievably stupid. Like, what would a stupid person ask? Are string beans real? Like, of course they are. You can just do that with anything that exists. You can be like, is this real? Are worms real? How come I haven't seen one? You'll get a lot of engagement from that. You'll get a lot of people getting really mad at you. But a lot of other people are getting paid to answer. So they'll just honestly tell you what a worm is. This is the whole reason the internet was invented. Like, you have to start, it starts getting to the point where you're asking questions like, what's that noise I just heard? What is a dream made out of? Hey Quora, first time poster. I was just wondering if dreams are made out of dream dust. Because I believe that, and I'd like you to disprove it. Hey Quora, just got another late night query to blast at you. If anyone's online, I'd love to know if you know whether or not ants like each other or not. Are they friends with each other, or are they just working together? Thanks, bye. 0 responses. Hey, Quora, just seeing if you guys could weigh in on this little issue. I'm just wondering what I should wear to my brother's wedding. He hates me. If that makes any difference, just giving you all the information I have. He doesn't like me, so what should I wear if he doesn't like me? So that's Quora, and somehow people are making money from it. People are making money from not knowing anything. That says it all. And I've said it all, and that's why I'm gonna stop talking now. I'll see you on Quora.com. I'll be in the forums. I'm in the sub forum called the Doghouse. It's for everybody who's been banned from all the other sub forums. Woof woof, and see you later.